Now, Victor Wembanyama has been a polarizing figure here in the last month. Some good, some bad, and some that's going to make him a very controversial player here in the future. But I think after reviewing his whole playoff run, especially his finals run, I have to say, the only conclusion I can make is yes, he's a phenomenal player, but he's a really fucking dirty player when it comes down to it. Now, it doesn't mean there isn't, really good, dirty players. I mean, Dylan Brooks is one. Grayson Allen is another one. Desmond Bane is another one. So it's possible to be a dirty player and, in his case, be a superstar player at the same time. But you just kind of have to look at him at a different lens, especially in this playoff run. You can point back to the Timberwolves series when, after getting a rebound, he elbowed Nas Reed, and you can see it in Dylan Harper's face. Just an absolutely dirty play there. And that was at a crucial point in the series. They elected not to suspend Victor Wembanyama the next game. They went on to win the series there. But the series could have flipped right then and there. Then we go into the Western Conference Finals. He sends out Mason Plumlee and Bismack Biyombo, and they go out and try to hurt Jared McCain. Now, granted, Jared McCain, very pesky. I'm sure he was irritating Victor Wembanyama throughout that series. But nonetheless, he just basically told those guys, hey, go do whatever you want. Go hit him, go, do some dirty play, and that's what they did. He denied any wrongdoing, and but if you just look at the clip, you can't. What other conclusion can I make? Obviously, he brings them over. They're getting subbed in. He's getting subbed out. Game is essentially over. And he's like, hey, this guy pissed me off. Go get this guy. That one was the most egregious, but I do have to mention the other one, the most recent one that happened last week in the finals, where, I believe he's trying to set a screen, or he's tangled up with Jalen Brunson a little bit. And then he just throws him down with two hands. Shaq obviously says that, that's totally fine for him to do. I don't know where the fuck he's living in. In what world is that okay to do? That's just fucking dirty. Just that alone should have warranted a suspension. Turns out, they didn't need the suspension. They were able to wrap it up in 5 games. But just a couple instances in there where, heck, if this goes any further, what other conclusion do you want me to make, right? Same thing with Draymond. Draymond kept on doing it time and time again. What other conclusion do you want me to make? He's a dirty player, right? Now, does this affect Victor Wembanyama's image in the future? Not yet. I think everything comes down to winning. I think a lot of people will forget, not completely forget, but at least diminish how many dirty plays he's done if he wins championships. Same thing with LeBron. He's notorious for being a flopper, although it's a little bit exaggerated. And a lot of times you do have to flop a little bit to get the call. That's why so many people hate soccer, because they exaggerate the call. But in reality, you need to embellish the foul a little bit in order to get the call, or else you don't get calls, right? And that would really piss you off and affect kind of your mentality going into the game, and it just throws you off. So very similar to that, Victor Wembanyama, if he keeps winning, he can do however many dirty plays he likes, right? To within reason. But very important to see how he develops here. He's going into his age 23 season. Diminishes his shine a little bit just because he just had such a phenomenal playoff run. Being a double-double machine, just basically doing whatever he wanted on the offensive side of things. On the defensive side, he's probably going to be the best defensive player of all time at this rate. There really should be no question. And from the offensive stand of things, he can do it all. He truly can do it all. I think the only thing that he needs to get better at is maybe have a little back to the basket kind of game, because he does rely on his length. Much like Giannis, the problem with Giannis is he he developed other parts of his game, but I would have liked him to develop even more just because he depends too much on his length. And he's going to find that out, in his, in the years to come. But Victor Wembanyama, he definitely needs to develop his game to not always rely on his length there. And, to his credit, he's one of the better young minds in the NBA. He's very astute and he, knows the game, a lot more than younger players usually do. So credit to him. He usually trains very hard in the off season. So we'll see if, you know, hopefully him being a dirty player as of right now doesn't hurt his image too much because he really is a phenomenal player.